Hello everyone, welcome to this new video. In this video, I will show you how to deploy the Bold Reports report server on a Docker application. Before diving into the video, let's look at the hardware and software requirements for deploying the server. The hardware requirements are a CPU with 4 cores, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and 8 gigabytes or more of disk space. For software requirements, you need a Docker application, a database like Microsoft SQL Server 2012 or higher, PostgreSQL or MySQL, and a web browser such as Microsoft Edge, Mozilla Firefox, or Chrome. I am going to use the Ubuntu system for this demo, connected through the PuTTY terminal for deployment. Docker is already installed with this system. To start, I create 3 folders named Bold Reports, Bold Services Data, and DB Data. The Bold Reports folder stores the Docker Compose file and the Bold Reports package. The Bold Services Data folder stores the data for Bold Reports. And the DB Data folder stores the Docker PostgreSQL database data. I move to the Bold Reports folder using a Linux command. I download the Docker Compose.yaml file from GitHub using this command. I download the default configuration file by running this command. I have provided the GitHub link in the description below. In this demo, I'm going to deploy the report server using a public IP address. I open the Docker Compose.yaml file using the nano editor to update the deployment information. I change the value of the app base URL to my IP address under the environment section. If you want to use third-party data sources like MySQL in your report, then you need to install them while deploying the report server. For that, I uncomment the optional libraries installation line. Here, I will install MySQL, Oracle, PostgreSQL, Snowflake, Google BigQuery, and MongoDB data source. In the reverse proxy section, I replace the default configuration path with the default configuration file. Since the configuration file is available in the current folder. I set the password for the PostgreSQL database that will be deployed along with this Bold Reports deployment. Then, I set the Bold Service Data path for storing the data of the Bold Reports, and the DB Data path for storing the Docker PostgreSQL database data. If you are hosting the report server in your domain, you need to configure the SSL information for a secure connection. By default, the application will be hosted in non-SSL mode. To configure the SSL, you need to uncomment the SSL certificate file path and SSL key file path in the volumes section, and provide the certificate and key file path. Then, you will comment 80:80. Uncomment 443:443 in the port section. And make sure the app base URL is HTTPS. I proceed with non-SSL mode and save the file by pressing Ctrl X, Y, and Enter. Next, you need to open the default configuration file and uncomment this line. Next, you can replace example.com with your domain name and comment this line. Since I am hosting my server using non-SSL mode, I don't need to do that. Now all the configurations are completed. Next, I will create the Docker image by using Docker Compose with updated YAML configuration files by running this command. This command runs in detach mode, which pulls the needed Docker images and starts with the Bold Reports and database containers. I run this command to check the status of each container. Here you can see all the images are run with healthy status. You can open the application by entering the IP address. As you can see, the Bold Reports Enterprise Server startup page has loaded. On the administration page, I fill in the required fields and click Next to proceed to the database mode configuration. The first option is Shared Sites Database. In this mode, all tenants share a single database with data logically separated using unique identifiers. This approach optimizes resource utilization, reduces infrastructure costs, and simplifies maintenance while maintaining data segregation. The second option is separate site databases. In this mode, every tenant has its own dedicated database, ensuring that data is separated. This improves security, allows independent management, and enhances performance for each tenant. I choose the separate database mode, and then click Next to go to the database configuration page. The Bold ID database stores information about sites, users, and their access permissions. The Bold Reports database stores reports, users, and their resource access permissions. You can choose between two configuration modes. Simple mode, which configures a single database for both Bold ID and Bold Reports. And Advanced mode, which configures separate databases for Bold ID and Bold Reports. I proceed with Simple mode. You can choose from the Microsoft SQL Server / Azure SQL, PostgreSQL, MySQL, or Oracle database options to configure your own report server. For this video, I select the PostgreSQL database. Based on your selection, the form will refresh, displaying fields related to the chosen database. Next, I fill the necessary fields. By default, New is selected for the database. I enter the database name, Bold Services Docker. You can modify the database schema, ID tables prefix, and server tables prefix values if needed. These prefixes will appear in your table names within the database. The Enable SSL option lets you make a secure connection between the report server application and the database to encrypt the data. I leave the default values and then click Next to open the account activation page. Next, I need to activate my Bold Reports account. There are three options available to activate the account. If you have a Bold Reports account, you can activate it by using the Login to Activate option. If you are working in a secure environment without access to an external server, you can activate your account by using the Unlock Key file. If you don't have a Bold Reports account, you can proceed with a 30-day trial. Since I have a Bold Reports account, I click Login to Activate. If you have multiple licenses, it will ask you to select one. If you have only one license, this process will be skipped. On the Reports page, sample reports that are already integrated into the report server can be added. When I click a report, it will open in a new window. In this video, I have shown you how to deploy the Bold Reports report server in Docker using a Docker Compose image. To learn more about Bold Reports, you can visit boldreports.com. If you don't have a Bold Reports subscription, you can try out the platform using the Try It Free option. If you prefer a demo from an expert, Request Demo lets you schedule one. If you found this video useful, please click the like button and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.